2 courses down, 4 left on the menu for today. Welcome back to Quake Pro League. I am 40 Lions, joined by Flea. Flea, we've had 2 quite close series today. How do you think about this next one? Spart1e Cypher. The party's about to get started.
Oh man, this is gonna be a good one too, right? I think that Spart1e, personally, to me, it's always one of the biggest dark horses in Quake. He's like this sleeping giant who, for many matches, just seems unassuming, just goes and rolls with the punches, but then at other times he just absolutely goes off. That railgun of his is unmatched. If we just look at his history so far, this is a man who's beaten Base, CNZ, Cooler, and Avek in these past few weeks. Avek at a point where the man was just absolutely unbeatable, untouchable, the only player on EU who hadn't lost yet. And then Spart1e, kind of like that scene in the Avengers with the big bad Thanos, Spart1e shows up and he's like, well, I'll do it myself. And he just puts on the gauntlet and slaps his way to victory. On the other hand, of course, you've got Cypher, the whiz kid of Quake, one of the greatest prodigies to ever grace the game. So far, also a pretty solid track record, beat Killson just last week. The VOD is up. Sorry, 40, I know you wanted to keep it clean from spoilers, but we have to get into it a bit more now. So this is going to be a hype game.
I can't work like this, Flea. How dare you? How dare you? Yeah, I mean, Spart1e is a bit of a wild card, right? You're not really sure what Spart1e might show up. Let's get into the pick and bans real quick and take a look at what we got. But if Spart1e can show up with the rail and pop off, it's going to be a rough time for Cypher. We got Exile, Vale of Noth, and Awoken. We got Sorlag versus Anarchy, Galena versus Eisen, Keel versus Ranger. We've seen these lineups before, Flea. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, nothing too uncommon, right? Sorlag versus Anarchy, we saw it earlier, and then it actually worked out in favor of the Anarchy when CNZ was playing. And then we've got Vale of Noth, again, the deployable champions, very powerful there. Galena, the Eisen, the Turret, and the Totems, they help a ton. And then finally Awoken, Keel coming out to play once more against the Ranger. So, little worried for Spart1e on map 1. Exile, if you get out of control there and your opponent is just running away with the stack, it can be extremely difficult. Vale of Noth, of course, Eisen versus Galena, super standard, can't really pick any better one there. And then finally, when it comes to Awoken, I mean, difficult to say, because the mobility, we've seen how that plays out against Keel earlier on Corrupted Keep, so it might be going down the same way. This is a very difficult matchup to call.
I think it's going to be really, really close. But again, I love to put you on the spot. What do you got for me?
What have I got for you? I mean, it all just depends. If Spart1e's rail is on, he can bring the party, then I'm going to go with him. Otherwise, Cypher, can never count him out. His win against Killson just a few days ago was real good stuff. So I'm probably going to say 2-1 for Cypher.
2-1 Cypher. I think I'm gonna have to go 2-1 Spart1e. I just feel it. Like last week, I just feel a little something. Could be heartburn, could be indigestion. I don't know. Maybe I should call a doctor, like Dan said. But I feel a little something. I'm gonna go 2-1 Spart1e. Chat, start locking in your predictions map by map. We'll see how this shakes out. But I just feel like Spart1e has the ability to power squat this one and take it away from Cypher.
So if Spart1e wins, it's the magic. If he loses, then you're straight to the ER after this game, because something is wrong. But
something's very wrong, yeah.
Very wrong indeed. This should be a really good one. I think it's relatively balanced if we look at the picks, the bans, and the champions on the map. So this is no doubt going to be a close game like we've seen so far, right? Some weeks you get 3-0s across the board, but today it's been really hard fought. Every single series, 2-1 going to the final map, the decider. So let's see if that remains true for this one too.
Yep. Predictions pouring in. It looks like Cypher. Looks like the people have spoken in chat. 66% for Cypher as of now, 34% for Spart1e. We'll see again, both players respectively, Spart1e and Cypher, 7th and 8th rank on the EU side of the leaderboards. So we'll see how this shakes out, Flea. I think it should be interesting. I think the map number 1 is going to be very, very interesting. As you said, Sorlag versus Anarchy, very, very rough. If Spart1e gets on the back foot too early, it's just an uphill battle. Dealing with that dinosaur, dealing with the spit, the stack, it's going to be a rough road, but I just feel like he's going to pop off with rail. There's just something there. Something's in the air. Maybe I have a gas leak. I don't know. But it's just something. There's just something about it. Whether it's on the first 2 maps or the back 2, I just feel like Spart1e is going to edge this one out. No disrespect to Cypher, again, coming off a huge victory with Killson. We'll see. We'll see.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I mean, it can absolutely go either way, right? Even if Cypher takes this, he is going to have to put in the work because Spart1e has been looking mighty fine. This might very well be his best stage in the Quake Pro League yet. Just want to recount once more. He has beaten Base, CNZ, Cooler, and Avex so far. So Spart1e, a sleeping giant, putting down a momentous performance so far. Let's see if he can run away with it once more as he leaves the Mega up. Forever.
Doesn't want it.
No, Spart1e so confident in his ability that he's like, you know what? I'm gonna give you a bit of a head start, Cypher. You take both. I'm fine. I don't even need a rockets yet.
Big nail into rail combo there. It pops the inject. And yeah, very, very rough start here. Does get in on the heavy. A little bit of LG damage. Almost hits the rail on the way out. Because that was a little too free. Cypher just turned tail and ran. Spart1e let it happen here as the Mega's going to be up. Spart1e might be able to get a cheeky rail on the way out. Just a little bit of a tickle.
He gets tickled back though and is now railable. He needs to find some resources quick, lest Cypher finds him and puts an end to this stalemate. 0-0 dead is too aggressive, Spart1e. That was just a little bit too courageous. I don't know if he lost track of where Cypher was at, but just barreling into the room like that and now escaping with 11 points of health. Still alive, but he's tender 40.
LG on LG, that is not in Spart1e's favor. As Cypher around the corner with the shotgun, that LG absolutely melts Spart1e. And he's not really having a party right now. 2-0, still early, but let's see if he can make it happen with the nail, and he can't. The shotgun blast just too strong. Again, trying to push it off the spawn, trying to keep Cypher weak, and Cypher keeps putting him down. He's like, please, stop this. Spart1e, what are you doing? As Cypher grabs the Mega after surviving by the skin of his tail. 4-0, Cypher off to an extremely strong start.
I mean, it's always a bit of a coin toss when you rushed in like that, right? And Spart1e absolutely could have taken that frag, maybe turned it even into 2 of them. But as it stands, he lost both, leaving Cypher with a sliver of health to work with. And now the Na'Vi player has a significant lead. Spart1e has to chase this one down. He's going to be struggling. That's some pretty solid tribal though. Dares he make a move on the Mega, dodging shots left and right, picks it up, but is oh so low. The spit should take him down as Cypher thunders on with 20 points of health. 40 Spart1e. Can he get a refrag? Doesn't look like it.
Desperately needs one, as he's already down 5, and we talked about how incredibly difficult it is to come back against this kind of mismatch and stack on this map. And what a rail from Cypher. He's playing so well, going through the tele, just missing out on that rail to Spart1e, but he is able to grab the Mega. Does slow things down, has inject now, looking a little bit better, but he doesn't have a lot of weaponry. He wants rockets, finally grabs LG, but heavy goes to Cypher, and that's just such a thick stack to try and melt through.
Nice little rail. Can he find another shot? Neither player can, actually. That could have been disastrous for Spart1e. And now Cypher has to give up positioning on the Mega. Spart1e should be able to clean up the frag right here. Unless Cypher somehow pulls off a miraculous escape with 15 points of health. Nah, Spart1e knows where he is. Not gonna let him pick up that small armor. Is this the groundwork for a comeback? Spart1e has got the heavy waiting behind him. Doesn't want to pick it up just yet. It's just looking for damage as of this point. Both players weak, but it will be Spart1e who's got the heavy waiting for him.
And he made that work without rockets. Spart1e's gone so long without rockets off this spawn, it's incredible. Does grab the Mega, still in good position.
Cypher doesn't have LG either. So he can't really take those mid-range fights as well. Looking for a way to get onto the LG. He's gonna hear the bounce pad, knows that heavy hasn't been taken out, sneaks on to the point. I don't know if he just mistimed that, because he was still a few seconds early. But that is allowing Spart1e to slowly close the gap. Oh, Cypher. Yeah, and he doesn't have LG, he doesn't have rockets. He needs to get miracle damage with the nail. But that won't be for the day. This is going rapidly in Spart1e's favor these past few engagements.
Yeah, the momentum swing definitely for Spart1e, but he needs to be careful. He's just going to drop down, take a lot of damage. The spit is going to be deployed, but actually none of it connected. He does need to be careful before he skates on through that. But Spart1e looking really strong right now, almost tying it at 5. Just one frag down as we are halfway through this one, Flea.
So far very close in terms of damage as well. Both players only separated by around 200 points. Take a look at the items, also extremely balanced. 6-4 in terms of item pickups. And reverse that for Cypher. Gets a good and important frag there though. Once again in the lead by 1 point. The stack is helping out Cypher so much. But Spart1e is applying such pressure constantly. He's just not letting off one bit.
Can he get it before he dies? He's gonna back off and grab the health bubble. Cypher's so extremely weak. Both players are very, very weak right now. I think Spart1e just caught a glimpse of him. Is he going to be able to make a play onto this heavy? He's looking for the angle. There's the drop. There's the rocket, but the heavy will go away. Can he at least get the frag on the way out? There's a great rail from Cypher to keep him weak, but he does end up going down.
Cypher does have positioning on the Mega now. And look at Spart1e's stack. He does have the inject. Choosing not to use it just yet though. That's a risky play because he is, or at least was, railable. I guess Spart1e just felt confident in his knowledge that there were enough health bubbles on the map for taking. Look at these rockets, they are solid, but the rail misses when it shouldn't. LG, powerful!
Wow.
Yeah, but Spart1e, he put himself in a bad position there, 40. On that little ledge sticking out into nowhere, you just don't have the room to dodge those rockets. And Cypher, beautiful rockets from Belarus, as we all know and love him, tying it right back up, 7-7.
Oh, Cypher, I think he got pushed off with that LG, just barely falling down, riding the lightning. Spart1e's able to take the frag lead now, 8-7. Fighting with the nail, but the LG from Cypher too strong to tie it right back up.
This is such a close opener already for the in line with every other game we've seen so far today. 8-8. 2.5 minutes left to go. Rockets are sublime, but the spit, the poison will take out Spart1e before he can get to a health bubble. Now Heavy's about to spawn, and Cypher, after securing Mega, if he can get a good position, this might be the start of a rotation. But the height advantage into the shotgun, Spart1e kills him even before Cypher can pick up the Heavy, and that might help the Swede out a lot.
Yeah, big inject there from Spart1e. Cypher getting a lot of damage. That rocket from below, pretty good, and hits another one. Almost gets the frag before the Mega pickup, but it's nothing doing. Even after the Mega pickup, the rail's too strong from Spart1e as he takes the frag lead, 10-9. 2 minutes left, Flea.
One of the first times that we've seen Spart1e actually take the lead. He's usually been trailing or tied.
What a play. That was psychotic.
Absolutely no Fs given. Complete aggression. Pushing his opponent up against the wall and finishing him the long-range shotgun coming through nicely as well. This is a crucial moment for Cypher as it feels like the match is kind of slipping through his fingers. The patience, 40. Spart1e just waiting up until Cypher gets close and personal to make the most out of that shotgun blast. Beautiful plays right here.
Oh, again with the shotgun. Spart1e doing his best Turok impression. Hits the rail, almost cratering Cypher, and this is insane. 14-9. Spart1e firmly in control now. Has inject as well. Mega's going to be up. Doesn't even need to use the inject. Gambles it all on that play, though, but he's luckily able to survive and grab the Mega. Cypher going through the telly again. Fantastic rail, but returned very quickly from Spart1e, and that'll net him another frag.
Both players at around 60% railgun accuracy now, but Spart1e has fired significantly more shots than his opponent, and that helped him out tremendously. If we look at the damage, it changed so quickly, right? Halfway through the map, it was still basically tight, but then Spart1e just revved his engine, started landing just about everything, and now he's 1.5k damage ahead of Cypher. And the Belarusian player from Navi, yeah, just unable to rival it. The rockets, the LG, the rail, everything is on point. That 360 hertz monitor helping Spart1e out, no dots. This is going to be a clean and convincing win. It was close until the final 2 minutes or so, but then Spart1e just ran away with the scoreline.
Just hitting all these rails now. And he's gonna put the stamp on it, 17-9 for Spart1e. He's gonna run outside. He's gonna have a cigarette after that because that was quite the experience. I don't know, gas leak or not. Maybe I'm onto something, Flea. I don't know. I don't want to flex. It's not about me. It's not about me. But I'm just saying, it feels pretty good. Yeah, the Spart1e show. I mean, the party showed up. Cypher didn't necessarily play that wrong. If anything, Spart1e kind of went all in on, I believe, a heavy that was borderline psychotic, and somehow made that work, and it seemed to spiral out of control from there.
I do feel like, especially in those final 2 minutes, Cypher pushed ahead a bit too aggressively, taking some fights that he shouldn't. You know how weak Sorlag is against that shotgun, so even when you do have the stack advantage, pushing that small hallway, it is such a risk, and clearly Spart1e was ready for it time and time again. Very deserved victory for the Swede, but it was close and hard fought, and I think that the final scoreline doesn't tell the entire story, as this next map might very well go Cypher's way.
It feels like Cypher didn't really utilize a lot of the up-close shotgun that'll just chunk through champions. We saw Spart1e do that so well, especially against the Sorlag, just absolutely dominating the up-close battle. And you gotta wonder why Cypher didn't really try that. I didn't really see a lot of shotgun play from him.
Especially because he's up against Anarchy, right? I mean, Anarchy eats shotgun for breakfast, and definitely agree with you, he should have made better use of that weapon. Quite a few situations where he could have too. Getting a final overview of the damage just to again confirm how much more damage output Spart1e had than Cypher, and that was a decisive factor in this first map.
So going into map number 2, do you want to swap your stance at all? How do you feel about things?
Ooh, let's take a look. Map 2, right? Map 2 was Vale of Noth, and we were getting the Galena versus the Ice, and I don't know. I felt like Cypher, those last 2 minutes, the decision making wasn't on point, whereas Spart1e, especially when it comes to the weapon choices, was absolutely sublime. So I'm not gonna go ahead and change my decision. The die has been casted for it. We can't roll it back now, but I think we can't count Cypher out just yet.
I think that's fair. Going into Vale, Eisen versus Galena, a little more even matchup. Again, it's going to be a battle of where the Timmy turret is deployed and where the totems are deployed. If you can get overstack is going to be huge, but the predictions are going in, and it looks like Chad has been like, oh, sell the Cypher stock. We're all aboard the Spart1e train right now. Evening out a little bit here, but I see you, Chad. I see you, Chad. No loyalty, chat. No loyalty. No, but we'll see. Map number 2 should be a good one. Again, that one was very close until up until the end, and Cypher just ran away with it, blew it wide open. We'll see if Vale will be a little more of the same. There is still the railgun in play. It's not a corrupted keep situation, so Spart1e could still pop off.
Chat, you gotta be careful, because Fordy's taking notes. He's writing down everyone's bet, and he's like, who's betting against
I'm just
Cypher
saying,
now?
you know?
He's keeping track of it, and he's got that naughty nice list at the ready. But we are about to load into the second map. First one was very, very close. Spart1e edging out the victory with a very convincing run towards the end. And this map, right, Galena versus Eisen on Vale, name a more iconic duo, I'll wait. Don't think there's really much on this map that is played more often than these two champions.
Yeah, looking forward to. I mean, it always breaks down to usually around the mega is where all the totems are. If you set up that fortress, it's just a pain in the ass to get up there. Same with the turret. You have to be careful of going through the telly, but there's other spots where you could put the turret, like in the Thunderdome near rockets, outside the telly near heavy, where it could just be a nuisance. So I'm kind of looking forward to how exactly Spart1e wants to play it. If he has anything up his sleeve, or if he's just going to do more of the kind of standard, you know, hey, don't go through the telly, you're going to die and get melted. But map number 2, we are live on Vale, Spart1e versus Cypher. Spart1e up 1-0 in the series.
Spart1e getting the heavy spawn. It looks like Cypher is the one delaying the mega. We saw that go wrong for Spart1e on the previous map. Ultimately, it didn't matter much. And immediately another brawl, but Spart1e forced to retreat. All he's got to work with is the rockets, doesn't have LG. That is a weapon that Cypher has mastered over the ages. Spart1e actually going to take his own life. -1 to 0. That's not a way you want to start.
Ooh, and that rocket's not a way you want to start off the spawn. Can he hit the second rail? No, Heavy is in Cypher's grasp, and he's still alive, more importantly, but the rockets are so strong. The prediction. Spart1e wanted that frag so bad. Cypher knew it, read it, and fragged it. Spart1e does get in on the Mega, but no real damage, no real threat as Cypher casually goes through the telly and deals with Timmy, and Spart1e is face-checking these totems.
It's like, again, displaying dominance, just like how we gave up Mega voluntarily. It's like, I see your totem, bam, headbutt it out of the way. I ain't scared of nothing, he says. Maybe he should be, because Mega's about to spawn. And Cypher has a far better stack. Oh, I love how Spart1e approached that teleporter, knowing, or at least suspecting, that the turret was up there blocking his path across, so he just slithered out to the left right away and turns it into a frag. Spart1e still hasn't reached that 0 frags yet.
Dude, Cypher's popping off with these rails. Spart1e in a real bad way right now. Cypher did not take kindly to dropping map number 1. You could tell he took it personally. He's popping off right now, hitting everything. This is a bad way for Spart1e. He's going to get caught out again with LG. It's only a matter of time. Cypher hunts him down 2 minutes in, up 4.
Cypher has done 3 times as much damage as Spart1e, and we're 2 minutes into this. What is going on? Spart1e was looking so good on map 1, and now he's just getting steamrolled, it feels like. Cypher hasn't been able to really set up the totems for overstag, but when the heals are ready,
oh no, Spart1e, please.
You don't need overstack, but you've got the damage coming through. So Cypher very comfortable still. 5 frags of elite, setting up for Heavy nicely too, and Spart1e is just completely disappearing off the map.
It's just brutal. It's like George of the Jungle. Watch out for that tree as these totems are just doing so much damage to Spart1e. Still rocking -1s. Cypher up 5, hitting these rails, just making it look easy. And wow, takes his time, gives Spart1e a glimmer of hope, and then steals it away and says, that Mega's actually mine, I'm so sorry. And Spart1e just trying to stay alive around the churro now, begging for mercy, and Cypher is ruthless right now.
I was still on Cypher's point of view, and Spart1e was perfectly hidden up until the very end, where you could see like his elbow move around the corner, and Spart1e knew at that moment that he was done for. Cypher is just not even letting him get on the board right now. -1. That is brutal from a mental perspective as well.
Okay, Cypher somehow goes 3 for 3, makes it count, but Cypher trades that out, so 8-0. Small victories, Flea. Small victories as Spart1e evens out. He's still got a ton of work ahead of him. Cypher's just looking too strong. LG from above here into the 100 damage rocket, and this should be another frag again. Cypher gets the best of Spart1e. 9-0, not even halfway through.
This is going to be tough, even under the best of circumstances, for Spart1e to make a comeback happen. Good play from Cypher to pick up that 1 health bubble, knowing that he was railable. It's got to be
7
careful.
HP. Needs to be super careful, and Spart1e actually gets back in time to grab this Heavy, and that might be huge. I mean, 9 frags down. You got to take what you could get, so that Heavy's going to be a big one. He's going to actually run the map off of it. Cypher opting for the 50 shard, only has rail, needs to try and get some weapons here, but that rail just doing so much damage from Cypher. Almost 1,000 damage with the rail alone.
That turret was just in the perfect spot to make Cypher waste 5 precious seconds. That allowed Spart1e to rush back in with the starting shotgun to get a frag, but he needs about 9 more just to tie it up. And it doesn't seem like Cypher is looking to slow down just yet. Some big rails still coming through, and even though Spart1e is the one picking up most of the major items right now, Cypher is keeping this a close game in terms of stack.
Ooh, good rail there. Cypher's very weak. Spart1e looking for this frag, trying to find him around the corner. Can he find the angle? Somehow Cypher hits that rail, and I don't understand how this is happening. Cypher has just turned into, as we've known before, just this human aimbot. And hitting so many rails. Now he's grabbing the Mega as well, just running items, and I feel like this, I mean, it's really early to call, but hopefully this is brutal.
Indeed it is. Cypher, he saw all the paper hands, the panic selling in chat, and he was like, oh boy, I'm about to ruin the stock market. And he's making big on that promise too, forcing Spart1e out of the room so he can secure the heavy. And now we're seeing again, a bit of a trade-off, and this happens all the time on Vale. One player is in position for heavy, secures the item, the other races to Mega and makes it an impenetrable fortress to at least trade the items.
Big rockets there. Cypher is weak. Spart1e has the better stack, but he needs to find him. Cypher just has so many frags that he could slow roll the rest of this game and probably walk away with a victory. Unless Spart1e can get a clean frag and start running spawns, Cypher is going to be more than happy to just chill, hang out next to his totem, think about what he's done, what he's created. And yeah, just such a strong start from Cypher. It's going to be very difficult for Spart1e to get back into this one.
Getting that heavy is a good start, though. Should be able to loop it into a Mega too, but Cypher, I mean, he knows, right? His opponent needs 3 frags per minute just to tie it up. On a map like Vale, rather, that's entirely doable because it is a pretty small map, but still. Cypher, foot on the brake, completely grinding the pace down to a halt. But Spart1e really will find him. Yeah. Straight to the dome.
Catches him out. Uh-oh.
That's the pace he needs. That's the pace he needs for it. If he can keep that up for another minute or two, it should be a tight game. Can't count out Spart1e.
He still has timings of the items on lockdown. That's going to be huge. Can he catch him? Almost had the opportunity to push him. Rocket jump up, and he lands it. The Tri-Bolt won't knock him down, so he should be able to get across, but he's taking so much damage. The Tri-Bolt just so strong from Cypher up close, and that just stops any kind of momentum Spart1e may have got.
And that's the kind of freedom that frag advantage allows. Right? Because Cypher knows that, you know, I can throw a few frags at this. Yeah, even if I die thrice in a row, it doesn't really matter because I know that there's going to come the opportunity where I do so much damage that I can steal an item or maybe even kill him, and then he's back to ground zero. He's back to building from nothing. Cypher finally getting the overstack. It'll be taken away right off the bat. He's out of weapons, but the railgun pickup at just the right time, and I think 40 that one seals the deal. Cypher is going to tie up the map score 1-1 after this.
Yeah, this one may have been sealed a little bit before that one, but that one certainly hurts as Cypher, dancing all day, doesn't go down. Spart1e's got to be frustrated as he's chasing up the jump pad, doesn't have any other choice, somehow makes that work. But the Mega's nowhere to be found. But oh look, Cypher has LG, and just a little tickle will take him out 13-4. A good showing from Cypher to clap back after the first map. And send us to map number 3 as another decider.
We're being treated right today, aren't we, 40? The real winner is, of course, the viewer at home and us being allowed to cast these wonderful games because it's been so close, so tense every single time, and it looks like this is not going to be any different as we will be moving once more into the final map, the tiebreaker, the decider that's going to settle the score between these two players.
Just huge showing from Cypher to be able to come back after that. And yeah, it was the Cypher show. I mean, what can you even say? Spart1e had such a rough start. And the champs are pretty even. I think this was just pure Cypher dominance here.
Indeed. Final 2 minutes of map 1, we saw some Spart1e dominance, but for most, if not all, of Vale, it's completely the other way around. There were a few very close frags, Cypher edging out with a few points of health to spare, and then ultimately turned it into consistent control, but it was mainly just the damage output. Towards the end, you could see, I'm looking at the damage right now, Spart1e managed to close the gap a fair bit, but still, despite that, Cypher doing more than 1,000 damage over his opponent, and that helped him secure the victory.
It's almost like, again, it's kind of like that wild card thing I was talking about earlier, where this was a different Spart1e that we just saw. Was that even the same Spart1e? It didn't appear so. Maybe it's just a completely different cypher that we saw, but absolute dominance from cypher, showing us what he's made of. Look at that, just very patient with the rails, doing so much damage, being right place, right time, and I love that play from Spart1e. Just please no more, sir. Cypher's like, no, you're gonna get it. You're going to get it. But we're going to get map number 3 as the decider yet again. 3rd series in a row, Flea. And I don't think it gets any better than this. Sundays are for Quake. Sundays are for Quake that gets this close, in my opinion. I love it.
I think those patient shots, 40, they're one of my favorite things in Quake. Just watching a player know that he has to wait for the right timing to do the right amount of damage and then just delay the shot. Spart1e, you can tell he's a bit heartbroken over that one, especially since he came out swinging on map 1. But this is not over and done just yet. Spart1e, we know what he's capable of. Taking down the likes of Cooler and Awoken already. Cypher on this map, it is going to be a battle of mobility. Spart1e, Ranger overall already faster, but then he's got the Orb, whereas Cypher is running the Keel, and we know that Cypher is a threat on Keel, but it also means that he is slow.
Yeah, definitely a little slower, but I feel like Cypher can make it work. He's not afraid to use that extract to rocket jump around the map if he needs to, but the Dire Orb is just, it's incredible. I mean, the utility that you have on it, burst damage to finish up kills up close, to get in close, finish with a shotgun, to get away, it's so versatile, and I think it might, benefit Spart1e dramatically in this one. I'm still going to stick with my 2-1, but Cypher, that showing on Vale was incredible. So if Cypher comes back on map number 3 with that, I think it's going to be a rough ride for Spart1e. But you can kind of see, I don't know if someone in chat already clipped it and shipped it, but Spart1e head in hands, just wondering like, oh my God, what just happened to me? So yeah, mental reset needed for Spart1e for sure, but we'll see.
Chat, as we are loading into the final map of this series, go ahead, make some noise. Seeing a lot of support for Spart1e, seeing a lot of support for Cypher. Let your voice be heard. I want to see some Cyphers. I want to see some Spart1e parties. Make some noise as we are loading into what is going to be the decider of this extremely close series. Keep in mind, this is still important for the overall leaderboard, as the scores for relegation matches have not been settled just yet.
Yep, this is a big one as Spart1e just wants to take this series so bad. It's like the last rep in his set. He just needs to power squat one more time, but Cypher looking so strong, looking to bench press this party up and out the window, and we are live. Spart1e's going to get the mega spawn right off the bat. Cypher gets the heavy, and Spart1e's got that rail in hand. We'll see, can he pop off?
Very slow start. Spart1e only has the railgun to work with, will secure an LG now as well. I think he still has to be so careful about getting close to Cypher. That stack advantage, the rockets, the pineapples, if he gets caught in a bad spot like now, the orb comes out to help a fair bit, but he needs more. Dances back, but doesn't pick up the heavy just yet. Cypher retreats to the mega. No harm, no fall. Oh! That was a messy rocket jump by Cypher that gave his opponent a free rail.
The jump pad goes Spart1e. He knows that he should be a little weak. Can't land the rail around the corner. Gets another glimpse, but doesn't have the right weapon out. And again, this is a bit of a slow start here as the fight does take place in the LG room. Almost converts. You could tell that Spart1e wanted that rail out quicker. Ooh, but Cypher's right on time for the mega. Just drives by, and he gets back in with the shotgun to his back. Takes both items in the frag and takes the lead.
Major items not due to spawn anytime soon, and this Tribolt is doing work. Spart1e doesn't have a rocket, doesn't have a rail, but he's got the try, and it is doing wonders for him. Cypher forced on the back foot as Spart1e takes on the better position for Mega. Look at this 40, look at the damage, and now the LG to clean it up. Tribolt MVP for Spart1e. Spart1e has done more damage with Tribolt than with rockets so far. More damage with Tribolt than LG and Rail and Rockets combined. What is this?
Best gun in the game confirmed, Flea. Yep. Tribolt. Spart1e catches a glimpse of Cypher, gets him up the jump pad, almost gets another one as well. Cypher has to be careful here. Spart1e's gonna rocket jump off like a crazy person. There's a dire orb, but he can't steal it away, can't do the damage. Cypher gets the mega and the frag.
A little bit of a fumble of the movement right there. I was still on Spart1e's point of view. He was racing towards heavy, but kind of overshot the rockets. Missed picking them up, so he had to double back to collect the item, the weapon rather, and so he decided that it wasn't worth still trying to get onto heavy. He knew that Cypher would get there first, so he retreated to take a better position. And has now secured the LG as well. Still missing the railgun, but he should be able to find it right now. Nice shot from Cypher. That essentially makes it so that Spart1e would have had to back away if it wasn't for that rocket in return. Look at this! Beautiful plays.
Cypher making sure that Spart1e doesn't chase through the telly. Spart1e using that dire orb to get onto the heavy, ensure he picks it up. Didn't have the burst damage to try and chase down, so a little unfortunate there, but Spart1e decided to use that to grab the weapon, and instead there's the pop, and he can't get it! Cypher flying through the air with his rockets out. Right on target, 3-1. Spart1e trying to make something happen off the spawn, but he's just taking so much damage. Decent rocket, but not a lot. And 10 HP, and Cypher should make this look easy, and he does. The machine gun going through the telly, flying high above Spart1e. The frag count increasing, Flea, up by 3.
Spart1e is indeed struggling. Doesn't have positioning on the Mega either. He's just gonna orb for it. That's so risky, and it's not going to pay off. Cypher reading that, placing the rocket at just the right place and then tying it up with a bow on top as the railgun pierces his opponent. And that is only making it more and more difficult for Spart1e, but now literally one point of health for Cypher. Spart1e desperately looking for a railgun angle, but can't connect the shot. Even takes the rail himself.
And Cypher, just these defensive rails are so good. Ooh, Spart1e dodging Citrus, trying to get in on this heavy. Cypher's gonna be able to drop in and just absolutely take over, and the trade, and that is just such a kick in the teeth for Spart1e.
That trade is definitely going to favor Cypher. He even manages to pick up a railgun. And is now trying to get into position for Mega. The only thing that Cypher is lacking is the LG. And Mega is quite the open area, so I don't think he just wants to commit in full. Indeed, he will leave it up for his opponent and just contents himself with some good railgun damage. Spart1e again going for it. I don't know, 40. I feel like Spart1e is just taking so many risks with the orb. And Cypher is punishing a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, using the orb to get onto the item, especially in the heavy area where you're just stuck afterwards, no rocket jumping away, no nothing. He's essentially just saying, you know what, I'm going to take the item, but please kill me.
Yeah.
Cypher taking another Mega up 5, just in complete control right now. Spart1e doesn't have an answer. He's not hitting a lot of rails. That one's going to be a good one, but okay, all right, make it 2, maybe 3. Almost 3, but Cypher outrailing him by about 20%, give or take. 48 to 35 in favor of Cypher, as he's just landing a lot more of them. Spart1e needs to get that rail going, especially against this Keel. Also, having the Dire Orb on cooldown is not going to benefit you, especially against a Keel when you need to melt through the stack. It's just a rough road for Spart1e. Indeed, 5 frags down. Cypher just looking so strong.
I love how Cypher just didn't even flinch after taking that first rail, and the second one came through and he was like, okay, now I just gotta play it passive for a bit, and Spart1e does not allow him to do so. Rail after rail, working his way back into this. We talked about this before the game started. Spart1e's rail, easily his best weapon when it is on point. But he needs to make magic happen. Only 37% railgun up against Cypher's 50? That's no good when your opponent has the larger hitbox.
Such good timing from Spart1e. Just baiting Cypher into the LG, making sure he punishes appropriately, but using that Dire Orb for just to stay up and try and catch him out, and he's leaving the Mega up for so long. He's going to leave it up, try and take the fight, but he commits! He overcommits and just eats Snowball to the face, and Cypher takes him down.
Spart1e just was not expecting that damage output. He was like, you know what? I've got the high ground, I've got the better weapons, you're nailed. Sure, you might hit 2-3 shots on me right now, but he was not expecting that onslaught of damage. And now Cypher is looking so good. I think Spart1e actually got lucky that Cypher didn't go that way. Spart1e was waiting with the LG out.
Oh!
The damage, though. The damage. Spart1e, what can you do against this? It's still actually relatively close. 300 points more for Cypher, but he's landing the shot when he needs to, so he can set up and turn it into something more than just damage for the sake of it.
Trying to orb in and get that burst damage, but Cypher too tanky. Survives, gets the frag, almost sends Spart1e off the map, and I mean, he's doubling Spart1e's damage with the rail. That's just brutal. Cypher, every time he spots Spart1e out, he's going to get at least one rail. There's the heavy pickup again, but Spart1e needs to try and get out. He's going to press on and try and make something happen here. Doesn't have much of a choice with 2 minutes left. Cypher is extremely weak. There's the rocket jump up, and that's going to claim the Mega. This should be a frag now, but he has Cypher trapped. There's up the jump pad, but the rail will miss. Looking for a little bit of a tickle, and again on the way out, Cypher just maxing damage with these rails. So strong from the plus back, and the shotgun almost takes Spart1e out, and he has to say, you know what, forget it, I'm out of here. Oh, Cypher takes him down anyway. What a play from Cypher. The defensive play is just impenetrable. Okay, I thought that was going to be a telefrag. That's okay. Just a cuddle. Just a cuddle.
Little slap on the cheeks right there, but very close indeed. Cypher almost gave Spart1e an avenue to come back though, because for a moment there he missed every single one of his rail shots. He went from 61% railgun accuracy 40 to like 50 by missing everything in a row, and that allowed Spart1e to push in, close the gap. But then when it mattered the most, like I was saying, Cypher still lands the shots, deals the damage, and forces his opponent on the back foot. Especially when the pineapples come out. The grenades clutch once more. And with a minute left to go, Cypher not slowing down just yet. This is his victory lap. He knows he's done it. And that will be Cypher taking a 2-1 victory.
Yeah, really incredible performance from Cypher there, especially after a shaky map 1. Wasn't happy at all. Comes out swinging, clapping cheeks on map number 2, and a little more of the same on map number 3 here. I just feel like Spart1e could not get the rail game going, and he suffered because of it. As now he's just trying to shake it off in the server here. Just shaking it off, Spart1e.
Cypher showing why he is so infamous for those rockets of him. It's over, it's done. He's just styling on his opponent right now. I don't think he's missed a single one of those rails on the exits of the teleporter. It feels like every single time Spart1e goes through it, the rail connects, and that was a beautiful finish to once again an extremely close matchup for this is what, third game in a row that is decided by the final map. Such a hype series today.
Yeah, again, hats off to Cypher for being able to pull it back after dropping map number 1 and doing so in just incredibly convincing fashion. Cypher, in true Cypher form, punishing, railing, rockets, everything that you want to see from Cypher, he was doing. So if you're a Cypher fan, you are stoked to see it. 2-1 is going to be the end result. If you're a Spart1e fan, you're going to want a little bit more party next time. But still, that first map was pretty well done considering he was down and as an Anarchy coming back against the Sorlag. So again, the wild card side of Spart1e, like what Spart1e are you going to get on any given day, on any given map, it feels like.
I think Spart1e's aim was on point, perhaps not as much on the final map as it should be, but I think it was mainly the decision-making that spelled his downfall, on Awoken in particular. Spart1e just took too many risky fights, too many orbs blindly onto an item in the hopes of stealing it and running away, too many traps that he set up even though Cypher was really outstacking him and hoping he could get away with it, which he sometimes did. But if that doesn't work out for a few attempts in a row, all of a sudden, 40, you're 4 or 5 frags behind and the pressure is mounting. You have to do more of these high-risk plays just to have a shot, and if they weren't working in the first place, they're not magically going to start working now. So I think Spart1e, quite a few strategic flaws here and there towards the end, but overall still a very good effort and a close game against Cypher. So well played to both of these guys.
Yeah, I would agree. I think the dire orbing onto the heavy is a little suspect. I think you could dire orb to rail, drop in, grab the heavy. Even if you don't make it, you have an escape plan. But, you know, it's done and dusted. No need to dwell on it. We are going to actually dire orb out of here for a quick break. We'll be right back. We're halfway through the action today. Still 3 more sets on the way. Stay tuned.